You the
Perfect.
host.
Perfect. Great. Thank you.
Make you the host.
I got it. All right. Awesome.
There you go. You're the.
Thank
You
you.
got all power now.
That's dangerous.
I just learned there's actually a division meeting today, so I'm not sure if all the faculty are going to be able to make it or not. I'm pretty sure Yemi will not. I haven't talked with Carrie,
Okay.
and her Trisha can't make it either. So,
Yeah.
But
Okay.
but I'm here.
All right. Well, thank you for being here. I appreciate it.
Welcome everybody.
Yes. Welcome everyone. It is so nice to have you. Welcome to our first meeting. Okay. Again, I'm going to start sharing my screen and going over the presentation at 12:35 just to give more people a chance to join in. But in case you have to leave early, the meeting is being recorded, so you can always have access to that. And we will post a recap of the meeting on Canvas and we will send it to you guys. If you're actually, once since you guys are already here, let me share my screen for attendance so you can all fill it out. So you can get, so we know who's here. There you go. You just need to scan the code and you'll be taken to a Google form where you just have to click some stuff on a Google form and your attendance will be recorded. Valerie posted the link to the Google form in the chat also, so you can have access to it through that too. It's so quiet.
I think people are getting used to getting back on Psi Beta.
Yeah.
First meeting.
I know.
It'll start to warm up.
Yeah. I'm excited to meet all the new people. We have people from Saddleback. Yay. Hello. Welcome.
Hello. Thank you.
Wait, Leo, is that you?
Yeah. Hey, Ryan. I remember we met at WPA.
Yeah. How are you, dude?
Doing well. Enjoying the semester. Good to be here.
Leo, I have a question for you.
Yes.
Is Saddleback Psi Beta meeting? Is Jen, the faculty member, Chernowski, is she hosting meetings and doing stuff?
So our Psi Beta program, we met yesterday actually. And yeah, Jen was there, but so the students host most of it. And the advisors step in when they can. But I'm here to learn from the great program that you guys have at IVC. I know you guys have been putting in a lot of work.
Well, we're all very close with the Saddleback faculty, and Jen used to teach with us before she got the full job.
That's right.
Full-time job down there.
Yeah, that's right. She told us about that.
Yeah, cool. Well, if there's any cross-pollination that sounds good.
Yeah, of course. That's the goal. I would love for our groups to collaborate.
Yeah. Awesome. Good to see
That
you.
would be perfect. That's something I really want to do. I really want to just get more people involved and make connections with people from both colleges because we're sister colleges, so why not? Okay, it is officially 12:35. I'm going to start sharing the entire presentation. Give me one quick second. Sorry, technical difficulties. Okay. All right. Hello, everyone, and welcome to Psi Beta. This is our very first meeting, so we're excited to have you all. And again, welcome. This meeting, we're going to go over some introductions to Psi Beta. We're going to meet our advisors, our board members, and we're excited to have you.
And
at every meeting, there will be a QR code that will be displayed on the screen, and everyone will just submit your attendance to the Google form. And it's okay if you're late, because I will always keep the Google form link posted in the chats. And remember to fill out attendance form for every meeting so that we know who joined our meetings and we can keep track of that.
All right, so if you haven't already, please scan the QR code and record your attendance. And again, Valerie is going to post the link in the chat so you guys can have access to it through that too. All right, so let's talk about some basic stuff. What exactly is Psi Beta? Psi Beta is a National Honor Society for students who are attending two-year colleges who plan to major or minor in psychology. But if you're not a psychology major, don't worry. We have members who are administration justice majors, political science majors, and sociology majors, and some other majors as well. So don't worry if you're not a psych major, you only have to have an interest in psychology to be a part of Psi Beta. And again, psychology is an area that really contributes to all majors. Also, Psi Beta is a co-curricular. What this means is that we are an extension of the more formal learning experiences you receive in your psychology classes. But we have many of the social and professional attributes that are similar to a club. So we will have fun and support each other, but we will also have a professional environment for all of our members so we can learn and grow within psychology.
So what does Psi Beta hope to achieve? Our mission is to encourage professional development and psychological literacy of students by promoting and recognizing excellence in scholarship, leadership, research, and community service.
Okay, so now I'm going to talk a little bit about the membership. So we offer two different forms. So the first one's going to be just a regular membership. So if you're interested in psychology, well, you're here today, so you're a Psi Beta member now. And then the second form of membership, it's going to include an application process, and we have like different criteria for that. So you can kind of see it a little bit in the slide. You have to maintain a GPA of 3.25, and then you have to complete a college level psychology course with a B or higher. So you can, if you had taken, I don't know, maybe Psych 1, you're good to go. And then a one-time $50 membership fee, and then that's for lifetime. Yeah, and then that enables you for a lifetime membership.
Okay, now that you know what the requirements for becoming an official Psi Beta member are, you may be asking yourself, why should you become an official member? So regular Psi Beta members are welcome to come to meetings and enjoy all the information and events we have to offer, but officially inducted Psi Beta members receive the most benefit from their membership with us. So first, official members can claim to be members of a National Honor Society, and then this includes the ability to add Psi Beta membership to transcripts, college applications, CVs, resumes, and more. But even if you aren't an official member, you will get a chance to participate in many of our CV extending activities, as well as a CV workshop. And you will meet and network with other psychology professionals, engage in community service, volunteering, and fundraising, learning leadership skills, and be eligible for membership-related scholarships, awards, research opportunities, and graduation regalia. You will also be able to reach out to Psi Chi, which is an international honor society in psychology for universities.
As it was mentioned in the last slide, one of the biggest benefits of being like an official member of Psi Beta is the exclusive opportunities of scholarships, awards, and research opportunities. Sorry. For scholarships, we have two scholarships that could be provided. One is AIN Anastasia Mission Scholarship, which is Psi Beta's members that have like made a significant mission related to contribution to their Psi Beta chapters. They're eligible for it. And then there's also the McGraw-Hill Carroll Tracy Community Service Scholarship, which is for outstanding community service project established or implemented by the applicant. For awards, we have the McGraw-Hill Psi Beta Regional Conference Award, which is where like one Psi Beta student will win at each of the 6 annual APA regional psychology conferences during the academic year. And then we also have the Macmillan Learning Emerging Researcher Award, This is for like conducting research, ethics, communications, and services. This award is very attainable during your Psych 2 classes. So like whether you've completed Psych 2 or you want to take Psych 2 or you're currently enrolled in it, you should definitely apply for it because you could be a good candidate. Another one is the Psi Beta and Garrett Robinson's College Life Award, which is for different innovations or resources added to Psi Beta. So if you have any ideas, you can definitely give them out. And if they're good and they hold on, you can get an award for that. Lastly, for research, there is a major part of psychology is research. So so that will really have like meetings and discussions to immense the importance of research. Psi Beta offers additional benefits to those in Psych 2. There's also an opportunity for independent and small team research through a faculty mentored research class, which is Psych 15. Basically what that is that students can conduct research and then there's advisors that guide them through it. Toward the end of Psych 15, students actually get to be whisked off to WPA, which is the Western Psychology Association convention, to present their research findings, which is really huge on your CV to say, hey, I did research and I presented at this conference. And also people who are members can attend those conferences, even if they don't have any research to present, they can attend and see like other students' research. Also, there is a national Psi Beta research team, which have a national Psi Beta research project, which will be participating in as soon as there's more information available. And lastly, there's a Psi Beta student journal that you can send in your research for possible publication. Again, a huge benefit for transfer to say, hey, I presented in this place and I submitted for publication. And as you see in the next slide, this is a few pictures we took at WPA. Each year it's hosted, it's every spring. And then each year it's held at like a different location. Last year was Portland. This coming spring, it's gonna be Riverside. The one after that, it's gonna be in San Francisco. The cool thing about this is all expenses are paid, so you don't have to worry about that. You just have to be interested in research to go and see what other people have. The coolest experience I had was because it's a conference, you kind of think like, oh, it's going to be so formal and like research, right? But because it's like a psychology convention, there is such a huge variety of topics and a variety of people. And like when I entered the conferences, I did not feel like I was in a conference just because people express themselves so differently. And it's not at all limited and it's not hidden and nothing is taboo. And it was just really, really interesting and really fun experience. Plus you get to hang out with your professors. As you see in the big picture, that's all of us, that's all of Psi Beta, 2 huge tables. And our advisors, Carrie, Dr. Jerry Redman, Dr. Barry Redman, Hartrisha, yep, that were our faculty that joined us. You get to hang out with them and get to know them on a more personal level and like get to ask them about their random experiences, any question you have towards it. And they're just sitting there, having a good time, talking with you, enjoying a nice meal. Plus I made all my friends from Psi Beta. It's definitely a home environment and you really get to experience that when you're so involved in these events. And going to like a whole trip for a whole psychology convention, that was a lot of fun. And I think that was the greatest and the most learning experience, the greatest learning experience I have ever had. And I definitely recommend for you guys to apply to get there, which isn't hard to do.
Okay, for inductions, now that you guys all know all the benefits of becoming a Psi Beta member, let's go over the induction process. So applications are going to open mid-October to early November. You can submit your application you can submit your transcripts that show your GPA, that minimum of 3.5, 3.25, my bad, and that you've completed a college level psychology course with a B or higher. And then you will have a meeting with an advisor who will confirm your GPA and your psych class requirement. And once you're approved, then you will be able to make a one-time $50 membership fee. And the end, you will be officially inducted as a member of Psi Beta during an induction ceremony on November 18th. And this induction is going to be in person, and you will receive a certificate and a pin, and you're going to have a party. And we're going to celebrate you for becoming a new Psi Beta member. And yeah, this person is going to be in person at IVC, and more information about it is going to be posted once we get closer to the date.
So I want to spend a little bit of time about what to expect for official and other members during the semester. So there will be a total of 7 meetings this semester, including today and also in inductions. Other than inductions, all of our meetings will be on Zoom every other Friday from 12:30 to 2 p.m. So the link to the meeting is posted in the Discord channel, and you can also access the meetings through the IVC Canvas page and clicking on the Tech Connect Zoom, where you can click on Start the Day of the meeting and join the Zoom meeting. The meetings will also be recorded so that you can be access to them later on and use the information just in case you had to go out early or something went wrong with the connection. So that's useful. And some of the topics that we will cover are listed here for you to look at the end. And they range from transfer information to research paper and CV workshops. So each meeting will be followed by a mental health focus. This will be a time to learn about the most recent knowledge in the field for common psychological problems like anxiety and depression, and will provide research-based symptoms as well as coping mechanisms for all of us to use to improve ourselves and help those around us. During the semester, there will also be volunteering events, research opportunities, and discussions available for us, popular topics within psychology together. We'll be also ensure to keep everyone in the loop with monthly announcements containing meeting and mental health topics, as well as Psi Beta membership birthdays and resources for those who want to expand their CV even further. Finally, these announcements and more will be available on the Canvas shell, which everyone will be invited, get an invite, sorry, to at the end of this meeting.
Okay, and then as for what happens during each meeting, you can expect 5 minutes. So kind of what we did today, where we waited until an extra 5 minutes for everyone to come in. So if maybe you're a little late, your Zoom's not working or whatever, those 5 minutes are a good time for you to have. And then once that's taken care of, we introduce the topic or speaker so that everyone has a bit of background on why the topic or speaker was chosen. The bulk of the meeting will consist of the information about the topic and will be followed by a discussion period where you can ask any questions, whether it's towards the speaker or for anyone on board for Psi Beta. And then we'll wrap it up with the mental health focus, and the meeting will end at around 2. A few of us will stick around until 2:30 to answer any additional questions. I did want to make sure, even for official members, meetings, discussions, and events are not mandatory. But we can assure you that they're highly beneficial. Yeah, so there's no penalties if you miss a meeting or anything.
All right, and we will be using we will be using Canvas and Discord to communicate with you guys. Through Canvas, you will receive announcements about meetings, events, and opportunities that we offer. There will be monthly updates that will include job opportunities, scholarships, and resources. You can also have access to the meeting recordings and recaps in Canvas. Announcements will be made on our Discord channel. You can also ask questions and interact with other Psi Beta members on the Discord channel. Discord discussions will also be done on the Discord channel so that it's easier for everyone to interact with each other. You can also share memes, your food recipes, pets, and other things you enjoy on Discord. So really just trying to create like a more close online community, and we are planning to add more channels for you guys as well.
Okay, now that you know more about Psi Beta in general, let's get to know our leadership and like people who are on our board. Well, first of all, hello, I'm Sina. I'm this year's president. A little bit about me, my favorite color is dark green, but I also like light green. As you can see, I've painted my room green. I like that color a lot. My birthday is April 3rd. I'm hoping to transfer to UCI. I like traveling, writing, cooking, and acting. Those are a lot of my passions. Specifically, I like fiction writing and my interests in psychology. I love clinical psychology. I love neuroscience, social psych, and personality psych. The classes I've taken Psych 1 honors, Psych 2 and Psych 3 honors, and Psych 3 lab, as well as lifespan development, which is Psych 7. And the classes I'm currently taking are Psych 37, which is abnormal psychology, and faculty mentored research, or Psych 15.
Hello, everyone. My name is Ryan, and I am this year's co-vice president together with Emily. My favorite color is dark blue. If you look at my jacket, it's kind of dark blue. I was born on November 25th, 1999, and I would love to transfer to UCI. And one of my hobbies outside of psych would be gaming, anime, artistic work, going to the gym. And my interest within psych is similar to Sina, but in addition to those, it would be, how I call it, positive psychology. It's also kind of related to Psych 33, which is not taught anymore. But the psych classes I've taken, and it's a lot, surprisingly for me, is like 1, 2, 5, 9, 10, 30, 33, which is the positive one, and 37. And currently I'm taking Psych 3, which is physiology, together with its lab class, and Psych 15, independent studies.
Hi, I'm Emily. So I'm co-vice president with Ryan. And then my favorite color is also dark green, just like Sina, your president. And then my birthday is on January 2nd. And I also want to transfer to UCI or UCLA. And then some of my interests, I love watching TV shows, movies, reading. I'm really into pop culture. So if you ever want to like gossip or anything in the channel, you can with me. And most of the time I'm like really open to like recommendations to movies and stuff, because I just feel like there's so many different movies out there. And like, yeah, I won't get into it. But the classes that I've taken Psych 1, 2, 3, 3 lab, developmental psychology, and then statistics. And right now we're doing 15A, which is like research, and then 30 is social psychology.
Sorry, I was muted. Hi, everyone. My name is Shereen. I am the delegate this year, which is basically, I'm going to be talking with all the other delegates of all the other Psi Beta chapters. And we'll kind of just discuss what our Psi Beta and IVC is doing versus what they're doing, so we can exchange ideas and kind of just grow as a society, you know? So Leo, if for your, Psi Beta, if you guys want ideas and stuff, I am the delegate. And I'm also the webmaster. My favorite color is green, all shades, I love them all. Nature, as you see. My birthday is on December 10th. And I have no idea where I'm going. I have a bunch of places in mind of where to apply to, but I'm just kind of up there. So just for you guys, if you're stressing and you don't know where you're going, I'm in my 3rd year here and I still don't know where I'm going. But taking it one step at a time has taught me that it takes you to where you want to go eventually. I love doing yoga. I love swimming. I don't actually love the process of swimming. I like being in water and playing. I like going to the beach. And the things I'm interested in when it comes to psychology is human capabilities and neuroplasticity, just like how much you can, by using your conscious to help your unconscious change your brain's wiring, is really, really interesting to me. And it's very difficult, but I think that's really cool that we can do that eventually. It kind of really makes me, which is why I really love the movie Doctor Strange. So yeah, I'm really just interested in consciousness and the unconscious control. the classes I've taken is Intro to Psych, research methods, physiological psychology, human development, statistics, and the research working with mentors, which is Psych 15, and social psych, which is 30. And I'm currently doing physiological psychology's lab, which is, I'm just recently starting it, but I love the physiological of psychology. I think that was a really interesting science. I highly recommend. Super hard, super detailed, but it's just so much information about the brain that you're like, oh my God. So yeah, that's me.
Yeah, I highly recommend that class too. I going into it, I was really scared of it, but I ended up learning so much, and it really helps you understand psychology on a different level.
Hey guys, my name is Valerie Nguyen, and I'm a second year psychology major at IVC. My favorite color is white, just because it goes with everything, and I think it's really pretty. And my birthday is October 18th. I hope to transfer to UCLA as a psych major, and I'm applying to transfer this fall. And some of my favorite hobbies include working out, cooking, reselling clothes, and thrifting. And I also really like going to the beach as well. Some of my psych interests are clinical psychology and behavioral psychology. And the psych classes I have already taken, which made me realize that I feel like I'm very behind compared to everybody else. I only took Psych 1 and 2, and I'm in progress for Psych 3, Psych 37, and 15A. And yeah.
Hi everyone, my name is Harin Lee, and I'm a second year cognitive science / psychology major. My favorite color is red, and my birthday is on April 10th, so I'm an Aries, and I would like to transfer to UCLA. It's been my dream school since middle school, and in my free time, I like to bake and make jewelry, and then I have special interests in cognitive and social psychology. And then in the past, I've taken Intro to Psychology honors, research methods in psychology, developmental psychology, statistical methods in psychology, abnormal psychology, and I'm currently in progress for Psych 15A, social psychology, and introduction to cognitive psychology at Saddleback. Thank you.
Hi, oh, sorry. Hi, everyone. My name is Ava. I'm in charge of public relations, and I am living proof that you do not have to be a psych major to be active in Psi Beta. I completely fell in love with this club. I got into psychology through talking with my friends, through just all these in-depth conversations, and I wanted to learn more. And I started taking classes at IVC. One thing led to another, and here I am. So I'll probably be in the background taking photos of all of you, trying to grow this community, because psychology is honestly great. I work as a freelance illustrator, and it's honestly helped me it's helped me understand my clients better. It's helped me understand working with other people better, understanding myself better. So definitely a nerd for psychology, and that's why I'm here. So thank you.
Okay. If you are interested in a board position, we have 2 positions available. So I wanted to give you guys some information on each role and really urge you guys to apply for them. The first position we have available is a mental health director. And as the mental health director, you will need to look at current research findings on a mental health topic of your choice, and you will need to provide symptoms and coping mechanisms that are research-backed relating to the psychological problem that you've chosen, and you will need to create a 15 to 20 minute presentation and give the presentation at the allocated time during our meetings. And for this, you can apply by clicking on the link that's in our Discord, and we're gonna put it in the meeting recap as well, so you guys can have access to it. And the other position that we have available is the research chair. So As the research chair, you will be in charge of the Psi Beta National Annual Research Project. You're going to have to recruit members for the research team, and you're going to lead them through the research process. If you're interested in research, this is a really, really great opportunity for you to be involved in Psi Beta and in research, and you will have the opportunity to present your research at conferences like WPA, and you can get your paper even published. If you write a really great paper, you have the chance to be published, which is unheard of for undergraduate students. And in order to apply for this position, for the research chair, you will have to have completed Psych 2 or research methods in psychology. Both of these positions are a really great way to be involved in Psi Beta and expand your leadership and research skills. And you can add these positions to your CV or curriculum vitae, and this can make you more competitive. And when you transfer or apply for internship, they're going to look at this great position that you've had in a National Honor Society, and it's going to make you more competitive and compelling as a candidate. And besides, you get to work with individuals who have similar interests like you, and you get to make really great connections. So I really, really recommend all of you to apply. Also, I want you guys to know that there's always room for more leadership positions in Psi Beta. So as the need for them rises, we will be creating more leadership roles. So you can have a chance to be on the team basically anytime. So please keep an eye out for those announcements.
I would like to add a little bit to the research chair, if possible, Saina, before I talk about this slide. So I was part of the research chair last year. It was something that I had no idea existed, to be honest. But just randomly in the Psi Beta Discord, I saw this guy named Tyler, who is now my friend. He was just send an announcement saying, if you guys want to be part of this research thing, hit me up. And I wasn't sure what was going on, but I think that was the greatest decision I made. And I think as many of you guys who in any way is interested in research, and by definition of research, it's not just like going and doing research on like Google about articles and stuff like that. That is such a small part of actually conducting research. You have the part of like creating your own surveys and then getting your results. And like we're in this research chair position, it's part of the research team. So you literally have a team, you know, and you will also be meeting with the director, which is Jerry Redmond, and he's going to help guide you guys all together. And it's very personalized because it's like one group, you know. It's not that difficult because you're a team and you have a good spread amount of time to do the work that you need to do. Plus you get to present at WPA, you know, and that's just a given, you know, and you automatically go into the competition of Psi Beta presentation where like there's like the judges coming and just judging the Psi Beta members, and that's where you get the awards. But that's all I want to say. It's really great. I really think you guys should just apply and see where it goes. Okay, so I think now is a good time to introduce you guys to our amazing Psi Beta advisors that I've been talking a lot about, who have had a huge impact on psychology department and Psi Beta as a whole. First, we have Dr. Jerry Rudman, whose birthday just passed actually this Wednesday. So happy birthday, Jerry. Jerry Redmond is the founding psychology teacher at IVC, and he is the executive director at Psi Beta National. In this time, he has taught many classes, including Intro to Psychology, Statistic, Research Methods, Child Development, Abnormal Psychology, Social Psychology, and careers within the field. His favorites have been Social Psychology, Statistics, and Research Methods. He attended Mount San Antonio. I don't know why that was hard. For his AA in technical electronics, He also went to Cal State Fullerton for a BA in psychology and Cal State Los Angeles for his MA in psychology. And finally, he finished at USC for his PhD in educational psychology. His favorite fields of studies have been teaching, human factors, and institutional research. Some fun facts about Jerry are that his favorite color is blue and he enjoys bowling.
So next up is the amazing Dr. Carrie Tucker. She teaches into Intro to Psych, research methods in psychology, statistics, faculty mentored, research, social psychology, psychology of adjustment, and abnormal behavior. I've taken a lot of her classes, including statistics, research methods, and last but not least, psychology of adjustment. And I know her pretty much well. And also she pushed me a lot to become VP, so I really appreciate her. So anyways, she has attended Pepperdine and UC Riverside and has spent time studying gratitude and appreciation, which she also presented a lot in her research methods class. Her birthday is a mystery. I think she told me, but I don't remember now, fortunately. Her favorite color is sunshine, and she likes to go hiking and play basketball.
And next up is Professor Michael Cassins, but he prefers Mike. Mike has taught Introduction to Psychology, Research Methods, Logic and Critical Thinking, Advisors Mentored Research, Social Psychology, and Personality Psychology. He attended Orange Coast College, Cal State Fullerton, and UC Riverside, where he studied personality and social psychology. He has a special interest in goals and behaviors. His birthday lands on the idea of March or March 15th. His favorite color is awesome, and he likes baseball, movies, and good food.
Not to interrupt, I'm sorry. It's the Ides of March.
The Ides.
That was the day that Julius Caesar was murdered in Roman history, and the famous soothsayer said, "Beware the Ides of March," and that was March 15th. That's why, yeah, not the idea.
Yeah, I'll never forget that again. What is your favorite?
But thanks for the nice introduction.
Of course. What is your favorite movie genre, Mike? And what is your favorite dish?
Well, the greatest movie of all time is there is a definitive answer, and that's The Godfather. So everyone should watch The Godfather. If you haven't, it's one of the greatest stories ever. And there's even a new movie on Paramount. I think it's about the making of The Godfather, which is called The Offer. And I just finished watching it, and it's awesome. So I recommend both of those. But The Godfather, that's easily the best movie of all time. So yeah.
Awesome. What did you watch The Offer on?
It's on Paramount Plus.
Oh, okay, awesome.
It's like a 10-part series. It's pretty long, but
okay, cool.
It's crazy how many things got in the way and almost just completely destroyed this movie that turns out to be literally one of the greatest movies ever created. But yeah, and what I love most about it is that I study a lot of social psychology, and it's like the greatest example of social psychology. Just reciprocation rules are all over it. If the Godfather's going to do something for you, you better be willing to do something back for the Godfather. So there's a whole ton of social psych in it, and so it's fantastic. It's just the best movie ever. Go watch it.
That is awesome.
Homework.
Yeah, I'm excited. And also, what is your favorite dish?
That's a hard question. The COVID got me cooking, so
okay.
I used to make dinner. Now I'm attempting to cook more. So I got myself a new barbecue, so I'm doing a lot of grilling. So it's hard to say what the favorite food is, but I always go for a good steak at the end of the day. I'm pretty happy with that.
You can't go wrong with steak.
Although I know I'm hearing there's certain companies that won't sell steaks anymore just because of the environmental impact and things like that. They're like, yeah, we're not going to talk about steak anymore. I'm like, oh, don't take our steak away from us. But, I like fish a lot too, so I'll settle for a lot of different fish.
Oh, fish is
big
steak.
sushi fan. Big sushi fan.
Sushi is good. Thank you.
And next we have the amazing Dr. Yemi Taylor. She has taught Introduction to Psychology and its honors counterpart, Human Sexuality, Psych 5, Lifespan and Child Developmental, which is Psych 6 and 7, Psychology, Personality Psychology 32, and Abnormal Psychology 36. She attended school at Cal State Fullerton, UCI, and the California School of Professional Psychology, where she has had a special interest in experimental and clinical psychology. Her birthday is sometime in December, and she is not particular when it comes to color, but she loves to read and to hike. Yami is also practicing clinical psychologist when she's not teaching us in the ins and outs of psychology. Yeah.
Okay, and then last but certainly not least, we have Professor Hartricia, and then she's actually not here today, but she's taught intro to psychology, social psychology, lifespan, developmental psychology, 15A, which is the faculty mentored one, and then physiological psychology, but the lab. And she's that's what it was. And then she attended IVC, where she got her AA in psychology, and she was a Psi Beta member. And then she transferred to UCI to receive her BA in psychology and social behavior. And then after UCI, she attended Cal State Fullerton, where she received her MA in psych research. And she's currently studying at Claremont Graduate for her PhD in positive developmental psychology with a concentration in evaluation and applied research methods. And then her birthday is November 2nd. Her favorite color is purple, and she loves to bake. And then a fun fact about Hartricia is that she speaks 4 languages, understands a 5th one, and is currently trying to learn Japanese. And I actually had her for physiological psychology, the lab, and I loved her. She just knows how to teach, and she's so young, and then she's just killing it. And I recommend her if you're looking to take a Psych 3 lab.
Can I make one quick comment about this? I'm sorry to interfere with the meeting, Sina. I hope you all, there's one omission on Yemi Taylor's list, and that's actually that she was an IVC student, and actually a student of Jerry when he was one of the original faculty. And Jerry actually is in this meeting now. He joined us a little late, but he's here, so he can comment on that. But something that you should all notice, every single one of your advisors were all community college students. We all went to a community college. We were all in your shoes at one place. And so we're all really nice sources of information on the transfer process, on getting through community college, on the stereotypes of community colleges as well, and just the experience. So you have people who were once in your shoes. And Hartricia is like the poster child of IVC, because she came through just not that long ago, and she came to the first Psi Beta meeting and got engaged, and then she became a leader in Psi Beta when she was in her second year. And so you have great resources in your teachers and your advisors here, because we've all been here before where you are right now. Jerry, you want to add anything before they move past us? You want to talk about ourselves anymore?
No. just one thing about Hartricia. Can you hear me?
Oh,
Yes, we can hear you.
Oh, good. She went to UCI after she transferred and got through in 1 year.
1 year.
She may be one of the brightest people I've ever met.
Very hardworking, major overachiever.
Yeah.
Like most of you, I'm sure, in this meeting.
Yep.
Hartricia is amazing. I took her
She
Psych
is.
3 lab class too, and it's just, you learn so much in that class, and Hartricia is very involved, and she will definitely help you out if you need it. And it's just an amazing class, and I highly, highly recommend it to anyone who is interested in psychology.
And one other quick thing, just because somebody else is in this meeting that I was not expecting to see, and that is Nick Wolf. Nick is another former student, and the point of this is that we very much promote a family type environment in Psi Beta, and so you will often see former students coming back and doing things like Nick's doing right now. Just said, hey, I think I'll go check out the first meeting. It's been a few years. He's texted me. He's like, hey, I see you, right? I'm like, what are you doing in this meeting? But this is the environment that we promote. And we get students coming back all the time. And the coolest thing about that is that they become new resources for you. And because Nick transferred, Nick's at the next level. You could start talking to him about his experience. And we have a lot of students. We often do panels with former students who come back and are at different levels. Some have transferred to UCI or UCLA, others are in grad school, others are beyond. And you really can glean a ton of information from people who've just been a few steps before you on the same path you're on. So I'm happy to see you, Nick. I'm glad you're here. Thank you for being here.
Good to see you too.
Yeah, Lily's here
I'm
too.
gonna make
Lily was
him talk.
sorry.
Oh, Lily's here too.
Yeah,
Oh,
Lily's
hey.
here too. She was last year's co-vice president and
Yes.
secretary. So
Yes.
yay. We're very happy to have you.
Our big family. Okay.
Yes.
I'll-
Okay,
I'll mute
actually,
now. Sorry.
No, this was actually perfect because what I wanted to say some stuff before we wrap up the meeting. Last year, I'm just gonna get personal with you guys. Last year, when I joined Psi Beta, I was so intimidated and I was so scared because it's a huge community, and I was like, am I gonna get accepted or not? So I made my friend join with me, and because I thought I was gonna be alone in the meetings, and I never ever thought I would meet such a great community, so many great people, and basically a second family. And I made some of my best friends ever in Psi Beta, and just the support that you receive in this community is just, you can't compare it with anything else. And it's just an amazing experience. And I'm really thankful for all the opportunities that Psi Beta has provided for me. And I really hope to provide the same opportunities for you guys and create a community that you can rely on. And I want to just remind you guys that we are all part of something that's bigger than us, and we can help each other out by being friends, colleagues, and study partners. And we can share resources, we can make connections, especially with our amazing advisors, even former students. A lot of our former students are, like Mike said, coming back, and they are a lot of them are in the Discord channel, so you can even talk to them there, and they are all amazing resources. So yeah, we're very lucky to have you, and welcome to our community. And if you're interested in purchasing merch, more information about that is going to go out soon.
Okay, so if you want to get in contact with us, keep up on the news and all of that, here are some ways you can achieve that. Firstly, we have the Psi Beta Instagram, where we put up announcements and updates. We also have a Facebook group, the Psi Beta National. And I highly recommend joining our Discord as well. It is the easiest way to reach out to us officers, and you'll also have access to the announcements as well. The community is also very, very chill. Everyone's very welcoming, so I highly recommend that one. Also, you can reach us through the Canvas, and all of you today will receive an invite to the IVC Canvas shell if you're not already part of it. And if you know someone who's interested in joining Psi Beta and the Canvas shell, you can send an email to Sena and she will add you to the course.
Couldn't find my unmute button, but with all that said, that's pretty much it. We're all done for today, and we're just gonna hang out here and answer any questions if you guys have them. You can also put them in the chat. You don't have to unmute yourself.
Hey, Jerry,
Yes.
it was mentioned that we're looking for a research chair to run the National Psi Beta research project. Do you want to maybe kick that around a little to pitch that so people know what's going on with that?
I would be glad to. Every year, Psi Beta National runs a research project. And for 11 years now, we've been doing it. A lot of the Psi Beta people at Irvine Valley have been involved because that's where I teach and came from. Anyway, the National Research Project usually is an online questionnaire that has about 6 or 7 related measures. So for example, one year the focus was shyness, and we added measures on there. There were scales like how how interested are you in learning how to do small talk with people? And we gave them the big 5 personality inventory and so on and so forth. So what you get then is all of the chapters. We run the approval to run the study through the Irvine Valley IRB, and then all of the chapters who wish to participate all over the country, their job is to go out and get at least 30 participants to complete the online questionnaire. So it's been getting bigger and bigger every year. Last year we had about 1,500 participants. So it's a massive amount of data. And our college, I had a group of students that I mentored who wrote a paper on it, and it's been accepted to be published in the Psi Beta journal. Yep, hang on, I'm getting a call from somebody. I'm sure they want to sell me a new warranty on my car.
Jerry's very popular.
So this year, the topic is going to be, it's going to be an online study as well, but we are also looking at a way to do this in a face-to-face kind of procedure where we actually do an intervention. The topic is psychological myths. And it turns out I've been doing background review in the literature on this. Because psychology is so popular, there are a lot of myths that people have, and even psychology students have trouble letting go of them. So I've found research that shows that the more psychology courses somebody has had, the better they score on the psychology myth test. So anyway, we've got the current study. I'm finishing it up, the IRB application, and we're going to be starting it probably in October. Data can be collected all the way through February. So that's how the study runs. The one that we're going to do in person is actually an intervention type thing where we're going to bring, if we get enough people that are interested to participate, we're going to bring participants into a room, test their knowledge of psychological myths, and then do about a 30-minute intervention, and then retest them a couple of weeks later to see if it had any impact. It's really important that people do not believe the psychological myths, like, for example, studying or having a teacher that matches your learning style. That's a total myth. It's a myth that's actually promoted by teachers in many cases, our own counselors, and it's totally wrong. And there's other myths as well. And they aren't just innocent little things. They can actually be harmful to individuals' health and to society. So this is the first time that we've tried to study psycho myths. And so that's a little bit on that. The typical research group, well, there'll be about 4 or 5 students on it, and we meet every couple of weeks in Psych 15 and talk about how to analyze the data, and then it can be presented as a poster. The results can be presented as a poster and an article for the journal. So
Jerry mentioned, I'll decode a little bit if you didn't get everything Jerry just said. He mentioned IRB, that stands for Institutional Review Board. That's an ethics committee. That's to make sure that your research is ethically sound, so we're not potentially torturing any poor participants. We don't want to do that kind of thing. So now the cool thing, or one of the many cool things about IVC, your school, is that we actually have a federally recognized institutional review board, and it's mostly pushed by the psych department. I'm on it, Jerry's on it, Carrie's on it, Hartrisha's now on it. So we're pushing this, but this is something that 99.9% of community colleges across the country do not have, but every UC has one, and every, all the Cal States, I'm quite sure, have them, because a lot of research going through the labs at grad schools and things like that. So we, wanting to reproduce the first 2 years of UC experience, thought we need to do this. And so we do it. And we don't, it's not something we get paid for or anything like that, but we make sure that we're doing stuff that you get the right training, that you get the right experience, the same experience you would get if you guys were all in your first 2 years at UCLA or UCI or Berkeley right now. Frankly, Jerry and I will argue that we do it better, but hey, we don't have to go there. Now, one other little comment I have about this, I'm so excited about this national project because I have created a whole class. I'm unfortunately not teaching it this semester, but I most likely will next year. It's Psych 13, which is generally an honors class, but it's on critical thinking, which is basically all about psychomythology and all these things that often people consume and think is real that isn't. And it's just the research doesn't back it up. And so the whole process of this class is like a skills training, which is what Jerry is talking about, this intervention. We're trying to bring, I do it across the entire semester, but we're going to try and do this in, what'd you say, 20-minute intervention, Jerry?
Probably 30
minute intervention.
if we do it, yeah.
And so we're hoping that in 30 minutes, we can get people to, because you can't diffuse every myth in 30 minutes. But you could try to create a system of thought processes that might derail the myth before you even bring it in. By what questions should I ask? Like, well, what's the evidence behind that, for example? I'll give you a really quick example. I hurt my Achilles a couple months ago, and I'm going to a physical therapist. And without me knowing what was happening, all of a sudden, this physical therapist was slapping cups onto my calf, and he started doing the cupping process, which you might have noticed, like when you watch the Olympics, you see athletes with these like big giant bruise looking circles on their back and arms and whatnot. This I don't know how old it is, but it's considered alternative Chinese medicine. It's a giant hickey is what it is. That's all it is. Suction on your skin that makes it red and bruised. And somebody got it in their head that, well, increased blood flow to an area will promote health, which is a great idea, but it may or may not be true until you have researchers come and actually put it to the test. And so it's easy to bring in these kinds of myths without asking those questions like, hey, did a researcher actually put this under some kind of scrutiny? And if you look at the research on cupping, the only studies that show that it's effective are done by people who profit off of cupping. That, which is a big, giant bias problem right there. So Britt's here. Hi, Britt. Our former president just walked in, everybody. That's amazing.
Sorry, I missed most of it. I just want to say hi. I'm in the car and I have like 2 minutes. Jim's already mad, but I love you guys so much and I'm so sorry I missed it. But you guys are the best year ever.
Thank you for coming. We're so excited to have you here.
Britt's on a hot date.
All the other ones.
She took time out of a hot day to come visit us.
Yeah, literally.
That's very nice of you. Anyway,
I love hearing the cupping story. We heard about that last year too. I'm pretty sure it's the first meeting.
Somebody tried to do it on me yesterday. I'm like, I almost went to a rage in the middle of my physical therapy. Anyway, the need for someone to chair our research committee is great, and you're going to get really cool experience because you'll work with Jerry, probably work with Hartricia, probably work a little bit with me even because I'm on the IRB as well, and we're going to go at the psychomyths thing. And just the cool thing about it is that the projects, because Jerry, while I'm pointing this way because on my screen he's over there for me, it's like the Brady Bunch. While he never talks about himself ever, he's the national leader, national advisor of Psi Beta for the whole country. So he talks about chapters. He's talking about chapters at every other community college that has a chapter of Psi Beta across the country. And so we're doing research projects that every chapter around the country will participate in. That's why we can get 1,500 or 2,000. Yes, Jerry is the goat. That's absolutely true. We can get so many people involved because there's so many chapters all working together, and it's a really cool way. I mean, we were just talking at the very beginning about kind of, with Leo hooking up with Saddleback, but imagine hooking up with, 25 different chapters across the country on a common research project. That's really cool stuff right there. And so we can get some great data sets, and you just get to go through the process of how we do research, which is what you learn in Psych 2 and then put into action in Psych 15 with us. So we need someone. If research is something that maybe is floating your boat, I think by the end of the year it'll absolutely be floating your boat if you volunteer for that job.
Yeah, well, I can give a personal story again. When I started Psych 2, I was like, God, it's research. I'm just dreading this so much because I had to do a research paper for one of my classes and I hated every second of it because it was just reading and reading and reading, and I didn't feel like I was, really achieving anything. But when I took the class and I learned what psych research actually is. And I got to like do an actual study in that class. I learned that there's just so much more to it, and there's actually like exciting parts to it. So if you don't think research is for you, maybe try it out before you completely rule it out.
Yeah, don't let the English departments of the world get you thinking research is one thing and only one thing. They do the front end of a major process. They just do what we call the literature review, which is cute and fun, and you learn it certainly there, but it's not the whole process. You're just going out and looking up what other people did, which again, that's part of the process. Yeah, it's like the philosophers are important because they give us questions, but then their usefulness goes away because they try to, make up answers for them. But we're here to try to actually collect data to find out what's the best version of truth on those questions. So we need the philosophers for the questions. We need those English types so we can go and get that literature review. But then we need to do construction of research, protocols, like what questions are we going to ask, the collection of data, the analysis of that data. And by the way, all those skills that you develop, that stuff gets you a job later in life. If you're the person who can walk in and say, hey, I know how to analyze, collect and analyze data and explain it to people who don't understand how to do that, you, my friend, will have a job that pays you very well. So these are really important skills. The critical thinking and the teamwork is going to come along with it. So you're going to be a highly sought after job applicant in your futures with these kind of skills in your pockets.
Especially as an undergrad student, you can just make yourself really, really competitive. And like a lot of students do not have this opportunity. So since you guys have the opportunity, I really recommend you guys to take advantage of it, because we have so many resources here at IVC that I had no idea we had like this many resources my first year. And when I got involved in Psi Beta, that's when I found out just there's so much out there, and you got to take advantage of it.
Leo, did you have a question? Your hand went up and then we all just started talking. Oh, okay, I started.
Yeah, I did. I'm learning a lot here. I was really curious about the Psych 15, the mentored faculty mentored research. I don't believe there's a Saddleback equivalent, but I think that's really amazing to kind of have like a project like that where you get to work with a mentor and get to conduct research, with a community like this. Yeah, I want to learn a lot about that. And Saddleback Psi Beta it's a great community, but I think there's a lot to learn here of how we can kind of emulate a lot of the successes you have here. But that's yeah, I think that's a conversation I want to bring up, because like there's such a robust presence of research and faculty support, and then also community involvement from all the members. But yeah, I want to get that conversation started at Saddleback to how we can grow towards something like that.
Jerry, you got a comment on that?
Good luck.
Yeah.
Leo,
I have to yell at.
My honest opinion is it takes faculty. You have to have faculty who are willing to do it. And we know the faculty at Saddleback really well. They're friends. I mean, we've known these people for years, and I'm not sure if they're now. I won't speak for Jen. I think Jen does have some willingness, but it takes the whole village, because there's a whole thing behind the scenes. I'm going to talk like a department chair right now, because that's a job I also have. We can't just offer a class as much as we'd like to. We can't just create a class and offer a class. When we do create a class, we have to find what's called an lower division equivalent, meaning we have to find a UC that has a similar class as a lower division class, because every one of our classes needs to be able to transfer, or it's just not going to fly. Now, we did find one for our research class, our Psych 15, and it's actually a sequence. Psych 15A in the fall, Psych 115B in the spring. Now, 115 obviously tells you that does not transfer to a UC. Those are units that'll only go to a Cal State. And that's because of repeatability. The UCs won't take two classes. They won't take 6 units of essentially the same class, even though they do it themselves. But let's not talk about that. So they only will take one research mentored class. Now, the other piece of this is that the colleges, since Saddleback, we're sister colleges, we're in the same district, we have rules about how many students need to be enrolled in a class before that class is literally canceled. If there's less than 18 students enrolled in a class, the general standing order is that class won't go forward because now that class is costing the college money. Once you're at 18 students, it's a break-even class. The tuition of students and the state funding pays for the overhead and the faculty and just everything. So anything under 18 is losing money. So the college never wants to, they don't have money to lose, is what the bottom line is. So if you only have one faculty member teaching that class, that the amount of work involved in mentoring 18 students as a single faculty is overwhelming. It's just too much. And so this is why I think Saddleback won't be having that class anytime soon. Now, luckily, you're in the district, so you could take it from us. And Jerry's on the phone right now, it appears. But he and Hartrisha are running the Psych 15 115 sequence this year. And I was going to ask him to talk about that a little bit, but we'll see what happens when he gets done with this phone call. They might need some more people. I mean, I know they're not quite at 18 yet. We technically made it a late starting class to give us a little more time because we wanted to recruit some of Psi Beta students, frankly. And I was hoping Jerry would jump into a recruiting spiel here. Maybe when he's done with this call. I can't speak for him. I can't speak for him. So yeah, you might want to reach out to Jerry and or Hartrisha and express interest. And now there might be also part of this going into the whole national project as well, the pseudoscience project that he was talking about previously. Generally, what we often do, what Jerry loves to do, because we know the little bio on Jerry said he loves research on teaching. It's funny that a lot of people don't even consider teaching as something that you can do research on, but it absolutely is. How can we make a good teacher good? Same thing as how can we make a good student good? And so we get all these, these study strategies that we put to the test to see which are effective and which aren't. Same thing applies to teaching strategies as well. And this is something that Jerry actually is extremely passionate about. The running gag in psychology is that we study what we lack. So I'm a motivations expert. So, okay, there you go. Jerry's the teaching expert. So, we could joke like, okay, I have no motivation. I'm lazy. Jerry thinks he's a bad teacher. Therefore, we're going to go do research on this to try to make ourselves better. That's the old gag. I don't know if that's true or not. I don't think so. It's just a joke, really. But Jerry loves that kind of stuff. So I think the big group in Psych 15 is doing something on effective study strategies and testing them, I think. And Sina, you might know more about that. You're on that team, aren't you? Do you want to?
I am, yes.
Anything about that?
Sure. I can say some stuff. I don't know everything in detail, but that's the plan to go into Psych 1 classes and give presentations on the basics of the psychology module that the students are learning about. So we can just, be there to help them out. And then we will later see the people who did attend the presentations, and the people who didn't attend the presentations, they're going to serve as controls, and we're going to see how effective those study tips and additional information were for the students who attended the meetings. And Jerry knows more about that, so I think.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, Jerry's off his call. Do you want to talk about?
Call. Yeah, I don't know how much you've talked about this, but basically, this is a type of a study as well. The Psi Beta students will be trained to deliver information, and we have about actually 12 different modules that relate to introductory psych, but all of the modules have to do with scientific reasoning, helping students identify the independent variable, the dependent variable, whether the design is a correlational or causal, so on and so forth. All the materials are ready to go. We have a little PowerPoint you can present, and we have a script, and we haven't worked out some of the logistics yet as to how we're going to deliver and how we're going to track the students, but I'm sure that we'll do that. But it's actually a type of service project that has a very interesting research component attached to it. That's why it's being done in Psych 15. we're looking at learning outcomes for the students, and if it changes the success rates overall in the introductory psych classes that have had these presentations. We have about 7 or 8 different measures. So I think it's going to be really fun. And this is serving as a pilot test for all the other chapters. So we're hoping that this is going to be that, all the different Psi Beta chapters, Saddleback Anywhere, will start doing this, because it's a natural to have psychology students in Psi Beta be the ones to present this information. And they will learn more. You'll have deeper learning if you too have gone, presented this stuff. I mean, Mike and I didn't know anything until we started teaching. That's when you really know if you know anything.
That's
Absolutely.
true.
Yeah.
You learn best by teaching. No joke. You learn best by teaching. Nick, can I put you on the spot? Weren't you a part of one of the early GAP groups? Didn't you do some of those GAP presentations in the early days? We've been working on this for a long time, by the way.
Yeah. I was in the group right when the pandemic hit. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So that was what, 2020, 2019, 2020 school year.
Back then, we had like groups of 4 students would take turns presenting the workshop, and we invited people to attend the workshop. We might go back to that model too. That may be one way that we do it. Nick was our closer and our security guy. He kicked people out that were misbehaving. No, I'm just kidding.
Jerry put me in that security role.
Yeah.
Stand outside the door and be like,
was our
sorry,
bouncer.
Right.
Good times.
Nick, by the way, is now in a lab. He's got a lab position over at UCI in a research lab. Tell us about it.
Well, not anymore.
Oh, you finished it?
Yeah. It was that was like a year ago. But yeah, it was like theme extraction, coding data on a national study on the pandemic. So it was really interesting. Yeah. Now I'm in a internship. So see how that goes. Yeah. So I don't want to take the time away from you guys.
Oh, you're not. You're not.
Oh,
okay. Like, if you'd like to talk about it, we would love to hear it. Like, how was your experience in the lab? And if you want to talk about it, we would love to hear it.
Yeah, the lab was awesome. I mean, it was all remote, but just one of my TAs just sent out an announcement asking, looking to recruit research assistants. So I reached out and got the interview, and it was about 4 of us. It was helping her with their dissertation, and yeah, so we went through it was data from national, so all around the United States on the pandemic. So it was a lot of reading. We would read open-ended responses to a question, which was like, I learned a lot though, Mike. Yeah, I learned a lot. Like,
I'll bet you get a crash course on coding when you have to sit there and read an open-ended response and try to glean out, okay, what did they talk about? Anxiety? Did they talk about?
Yeah. So yeah, it was cool. And then I also, with that position, I was chosen to be the facilitator among the RAs for the theme extraction meetings. So it was cool. But it all started where I want to say it all started at Psi Beta. So the research, one of you guys mentioned the research methods. I took it with Dr. Tucker, and that started my research, and and then being in GAP, and
Nick actually published a paper in the first issue of the Psi Beta Journal, and it is the most looked up paper of the whole, all the articles in there. I have a way of finding out, what do they look at when they go to our online journal. And Nick's paper is at the top.
Yeah.
Our last year's president also published a paper in the Psi Beta National Journal, and that was also her Psych 2 project. So if you're
Yeah.
taking Psych 2, you can definitely apply to have your paper published. And again, that's huge for undergraduate students.
And Britt, through all of the research experience she got with us, she's now at UCI, and she just recently was brought into Pete Ditto's lab. He's one of the faculty members over at UCI. He's not the first Psi Beta to, or she's not the first, excuse me, Psi Beta to get into his lab. We have a really wonderful bridge working with Dr. Ditto. He does a lot of, his lab is called the Hot Cog Lab. It's emotional cognition. And so he often gets into people's political thinking and how emotional that can get. And so some fascinating research. And from what I understand, I believe she's the lead RA now. She just transferred over. Semester hasn't started, the quarter hasn't started at UCI, and she's already been offered the job to be the lead RA in his lab for this coming year. So this is the kind of experiences that you can get here while you're here. We're not just bragging. Yes, we're bragging. Jerry and I are like, yes, we're awesome. But at the same time, these are opportunities that if you really want to go for something, we're here, and this is what we do, and this is what we really enjoy doing. So Jerry and I and Hartrisha, we love mentoring research. This is a big part of what we get out of the job, in fact. So do it.
Yes, please do it and apply for positions and try them out. We would love to have you on the team and work with you. Okay. Do you guys have any more questions?
Everyone's burned out.
Yeah. So WPA this year is in Riverside, which is super easy. No airfare required, which means we should have funding for quite a few people to go if they're willing. And as was mentioned earlier, you don't have to necessarily be doing a research project to go. Although that is the design. The design is that you work on one of the research projects, like work with Jerry in this. Oh no, you're still there, Jerry. Your camera's not up. I lost Jerry. Maybe if you're working in the Psych 15 or you're working in Psych 2 on a project, the idea is that and there's a whole process, and we'll walk you through the process. But there'll be a call for papers. You write up what you're doing and what you found. Send it off to the WPA. I don't think we've ever been. I don't want to totally jinx anything, but I don't think we've ever been rejected yet by the WPA. There's a bit of history that's where we had some contentious years about what gets accepted and what doesn't, which we took a little personally because sometimes people at the UCs don't think we community college types can do this stuff very well. And so we always make sure we have good projects. I don't think we've been rejected yet. If you get accepted, then we talk about, we arrange funding. The school agrees to fund student research projects to Psi Betas, to WPAs. This year's nice because it's in Riverside. So what we'll probably do is get some of the college vans and we'll drive out there. We'll have, party buses, and I'll probably drive one, and Jerry will probably drive one, and we'll
Hartrisha really wants to drive.
Hartrisha might drive. If we have enough students, she might drive one too. We did that to Vegas a few years ago, and it becomes fun. It's a great bonding experience, and it's truly where the real bonding happens at this thing. But you're working with your classmates on these projects all year long, and then this is the cookie at the end. You get to go to an actual professional conference, and you'll be presenting research next to graduate students from Berkeley, kind of thing. And they'll look at you like, oh, you're a community college? It becomes instantly impressive to anybody who sees you. However, you don't have to be doing a research project to go to a WPA because it's local and it's because it's easy. And we've already arranged funding for it. We'll probably be able to take some students who don't have a project necessarily to present, but just want to come and see the presentation of other projects, because there's invited guests. The people you read about in your textbooks will oftentimes, if they're in the West, they'll be at these conferences, and you'll get to see these people. And sometimes without you realizing it, they're recruiting you. I watched V.S. Ramachandran, who's a TED speaker, not like a TEDx, a TED speaker down at UC San Diego, who's written famous books, literally in front of me recruiting one of my students. You need to come to my school. You need to get in my lab. And it's like, okay, that's the kind of thing that is really, that's cool for me to see. That like, oh yes, we did it. We got one in. But that kind of thing happens where they see community college students and instantly you see a professor at UC or wherever thinking, how can I get this person in my lab? So the recruiting does happen and it's wonderful for networking, but you get to meet the people who you read about in your books. The number one celebrity that comes to every WPA is Phil Zimbardo from the Stanford Prison Study. And while if you saw in the picture, he's in a wheelchair now. He's in his late 80s. He's got to be pushing 90 now, right, Jerry?
Yeah.
He's getting up there.
I think that was his actually, sorry to interrupt. I think that was last WPA was his last WPA that he attended.
Did he say this is the last one I'm going to? Okay,
yeah.
So he might not be at Riverside, but again, next year is in San Francisco and he lives in San Francisco. So I'll bet you there's a chance we might squeeze one more out of him.
Maybe, yeah.
The year after that, it's in Vegas. I doubt he would go to Vegas, but he's been like our celebrity, spokesperson for years, despite the fact that he did the, most unethical study in the history of psychology. But we won't talk about that. But there's tons of other faculty that show up and tons of graduate students and tons of people that you can make a network with. And being in Riverside, it's going to be really nice because we'll head to the hotel for the weekend. It's usually the last weekend in April. And it's at the Mission Inn and whatever the hotel right next to the convention center, which is like walking distance from the Mission Inn right there in downtown Riverside. Undoubtedly, you could potentially make a lot of connections with people at UC Riverside, since it's in their backyard. They undoubtedly will be there, which is both where Carrie and I went to graduate school. We're both products of UCI. So there'll be some networking that can be done there, which is really cool. It's just a really fun experience. The networking is the number one thing. I mean, everyone gets very concerned and nervous about, I got to present my research. You find out actually that's the kind of the easy part. It's you just stand in front of a poster and have conversations with people. It's basically just talk about your research you've been doing for the last year. And believe me, after doing a single project for a year, you could talk about it all day long. And in fact, you start to get tired talking about it because you've been so nose on it kind of thing that you'll enjoy it when people want to come and talk to you about it because it's something you're proud of by that point in time. So think about WPA as well because it's local. Even if you just want to go as kind of an observer, and not present research, there's tons you can learn. You'll see tons of different people in the field and you can make a lot of really cool networking connections. So that's something to put on your potential list of things to do.
Yeah, I didn't present any research last year when I attended and
you just went.
It was, I just went and I met so many amazing people. Like I got my inspiration for my independent research actually from WPA, and just it's an amazing experience. You really bond with the Psi Beta members. You meet people from other universities and community colleges, and yeah, it's an amazing experience, and you should definitely think about it.
Okay, I think we're about ready to wrap up. Yes, Saina? I don't want to.
Yeah, I think so.
You get to call the meeting, not me. Anything else you want to talk about?
I add one little thing?
Yes.
Yeah, what's
also
up,
at WPA, which is the best thing that's ever happened from IVC. It's my favorite memory. There is a Psi Beta session. So all the people from Psi Beta from the different chapters go and you all talk together and you talk about what your chapter did, what other chapters did, give each other inspiration. It was really cool.
Yep.
That is always fun. The chapter exchange is a fun part of it.
I actually kept their ideas. Like they recorded in I think it was Google form, and then I was able to keep it. So I have their ideas and stuff, which is really helpful for our chapter.
Absolutely.
Oh, we're so excited for this semester. I'm so ready to just go and have a great semester. So yes. All right. If there are any more questions.
Real quick, I said I would lurk and take photos, and I did. So I've been doing some screenshots. Is there anyone who doesn't want their face on the Instagram page? Please let me know. Otherwise, I'm going to post it. But you're all good?
Okay. All good.
Yourself on the Instagram soon.
Yay. Yes. Follow our Instagram. You can get updates and see pictures there. And
make sure we all look pretty, okay? Especially Nick especially.
Okay, if you have more questions, feel free to ask them. And if not, we can wrap up the meeting. No more questions? All right.
Sorry,
cool.
I'm sorry you guys didn't get to meet Carrie. She's usually here. I think she's dropping off her daughter at college right now,
Yeah.
which is a drive up to UC Davis. But don't worry, you'll get plenty of Dr. Tucker in your near future. I promise you.
Okay. Well, thank you for coming,
Cool.
everyone. Thank you
See
for being
you all.
here, and nice to see you all. And we hope to see you at the next meeting where we will be talking about transferring to universities, and we will have a counselor come in and give you more information about that.
My favorite
All right.
counselor too, by the way. So it'd be a good one. Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you all. Thank you. Have a
Happy
good
weekend,
day.
everybody.
Bye,
Thank
everyone.
you.
Thanks.